budget, you see the total revenues there. It talks about your sales tax, your beer tax. Beer tax sales are down about $10,000. And the reason that is down is the way that they're classifying some of these beers now. Yours, they got higher volume than what they used to have. So some of that now goes into the liquor category, the higher volume of beer. Also, if you look at the second column there on page one of the things that kind of stands out to me as I was putting this together is the sports betting. You can see we got just a little revenue from betting. And hey, Dave, come on in. We're just on page one. Anyone that is placing a bet that lives inside the corporate limits of Livingston, we get some tax off of that. So yeah. So yes, that's online betting. David, what I have proposed here is a nickel property tax increase. The penny brings in $9,108 The tax rate is proposed to be at $1.60 versus $1.50. And going on down, if you look at the or building permits was actually up. If you go and look at the actual column under building permits, the 21-22 projection, it was 52,568, and we have took that down to 20,000. And the reason that is going down, that had in the nursing home, which had a major renovation, and also the Miller Von Oakley County Services building. So we collected some money from that. The bottom of the page on the left column where it says donations, just a reminder that we do get $25,000 from Overton County to help run the park. So back up just a step. Going back to page one, our fines and costs are down just a little bit due to, and talking with the chief, with the COVID numbers as they was, we didn't have a whole lot of hands-on unless it was major problems. Hangar rent was up. Fuel sales collected was up. The aviation fuel sales is up 26%. Going to page 2. So this is the expenditure part, and so what we've done is I've had to increase the to keep up with inflation and salaries. I've increased this is proposed 3% increase for the employees. Also, I've raised the 3% on the pay scale. So, I think everyone here is familiar that, right now, anyone can go to McDonald's and make $12 an hour walking in the door doing fries. Most of our folks has to have a certification of some kind. We want them to have their CDLs, and then if you're in water, gas, sewer, you have to have a special certification. So it's increased there, and you can take a look at, and that's just here at City Hall. We'll talk about that as it goes on down just a little bit.
But the 3% is across the board.
3% is across the board. 3% is across the board, that's correct. Taking a look at middle ways down the page where it says other government, other general government, we have switched insurance companies. We are now with the state pool that offers United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and Cigna. So there has been just a little increase, but we've not had any complaints from our employees, and in most cases has put money back in their pocket by joining the state pool.
Yeah, I've only heard compliments from the few that I've talked to about it.
Yeah, and like I said, they've got a choice on what plan they want, so it's worked out really well so far. So far. Going to page 3. So we talk a little bit about one of the requests as we go in here. Let me get my notes here. You always think you have all this stuff in order, right? So, right there at the top of the page of page 3, we're in the expenditures of public safety. So, we're at the police department, and this is, so what happens is I tell all of our folks to be thinking of what I call a wish list of things that if you wish your department had, whether it was equipment, manpower, or finances, to put it in right here. So the chief selected some things, and then I kind of put the numbers in to see if they'll work. And if it does, then I present it to you guys, and if not, then it never makes it there, okay? So the chief has requested, first I'd like to request that the officers receive pay for 84 hours instead of 80 that they currently receive on each paycheck. Patrol officers work 12-hour shifts and generate 84 hours during a pay period. I would request that the officers be paid for these 4 hours of duty work at straight pay. Currently, the city pays firefighters the same at extra straight time, and I'm asking to be brought up to speed with the fire department. This request would apply to the patrol officers, school resource officers, and dispatchers. Detectives, the captains, and the chief of police would not be included in the request. This would equivalent to 1 extra paycheck for the officers per year. So I put that in there, and it's currently in the budget right now under salaries. I don't know has anybody got any questions on that?
So they're paid by salary now?
No, they are paid hourly. The only salarized person with the city is me.
So those other 4 are just comp time?
Yes,
currently?
yes, that is. And so cities and/or counties have an option. By law, because they're public safety employees, we don't have to pay them for the extra time. Now, I mean, obviously employees kind of frown on that, so I would too. But anyway, so we added that to it, okay? On going down to the fire department, we have a total now, or will have a total in this 22-23 fiscal year of 12 firemen, and that is counting the chief. That's counting the chief of fire, Rocky. We'll have 12 in this new budget here.
Does that include a new hire? Was we going to do
Yes.
another?
Yeah, that will be 12 once we get the budget passed, and we generally bring them on board about January. Of course, remember this, they're paid out of general fund. Property taxes come in after the first of the year, so that's kind of when we hire them. But we'll have 12.
Was that,
Pay for workman's comp insurance.
Yeah, we do.
I said, what do we pay for workman's comp?
Phyllis, you want to answer that?
Which page is that on?
I think, right. What page is that, Phyllis?
On general fund, it's on page 2.
Okay.
And then each fund has a different.
There it is.
Insurance and bond. Curtis, I know you had a question early on whether it was ethical, legal, or whatever, for workman's comp injuries to go to priority care, because now I'm a
Yes, that's right.
councilman.
Right.
Is that, like, if a city employee dies, they can't go to spend a funeral home, or if a vehicle breaks down, they can't use claims? Correct?
Well-
I mean, I'm saying that from the standpoint of cost, because the emergency room as the other walking alternative is so stinking expensive.
So the issue that you got, board members or myself are not supposed to collect any money, or not supposed to make profit off of the city of Livingston, of which they have a board to. So to answer your question, obviously, if somebody in the example that you use with Chris Speck, then the city wouldn't be paying for a funeral. In the event, and the city of Livingston itself does not use Langford's towing service. Now, of course, David's on the scheduled call list, but that is paid for by the individual.
Okay, I was just curious
Yeah.
if that was,
Yeah.
conflict of interest.
It is a conflict of interest. It'd be the same way that if the city was going to build something, then Midstate Construction couldn't be a part of this. Yeah. Okay. So going back to the fire department, so we have a total now of 12 firemen. You can see that our traffic lights repairs is going up to about $30,000. Of course, we take care of our traffic lights now with some assistance from time to time from the city of Cookeville, but for the most part, we are in charge of that, and which that only happened up to about 5 years ago, and it took a lawsuit, and that's why we are in charge of our own. Nothing in municipal parks. There's nothing there really to talk about. The numbers are the numbers. If you'll go to page 4. So there are some big numbers that is going to pop out at you here. Going all the way down the right-hand side, you will see equipment. And the equipment is for the following. $200,000 for a new garbage truck that we are desperately needing. We have and also a chipper. If you remember me talking to you about a chipper, because we have no site to burn anymore. And that is $88,000 is what a chipper is. And then they have asked for a dump truck as well at $35,000, and we usually get it pre-owned. So that's where that number is, and these numbers are in the budget.
That's the $325,000.
Yes, $325,000 on page 4 under city streets.
The garbage truck, is it just like the one we have?
It's not one with the arm.
No. And, Rex, the only reason I steered away from that is that the garbage cans is gonna cost more than the trucks. And I think, I really want to go through that one day, but with us paving and things like that, I mean, there's just not enough money to spread around.
Are there ever grants related to that sort of thing that come down the pike for,
We never see sanitation trucks at all.
no, I meant for like the garbage
Cans?
cans.
I've not seen one.
I haven't either, I just didn't
I'll
know.
double check my buddy Tommy Lee, but, he takes care of us at the development district.
On the phone, I'm sorry, you said we get a new garbage truck,
One, yes, garbage truck, $200,000.
we get the same kind of truck we got you,
Yes, it's gonna be a backhaul.
it's gonna be a what?
It will be a load from the back, rear load.
What kind of truck we get?
Well, it'll be
We
a,
hadn't specified.
no. No, what I expect was, David, is the same truck that we've got, but when we advertise for bid, all they have to do is go by the specs.
Got to meet the specs.
That's it. So, and, there's a good possibility we probably, if this budget passes starting July 1, we may order it July 1 and may get it a year from now.
Right. Are we gonna keep our old trucks or
So-
going in or what?
We've got 3 garbage trucks right now. 2 that is really used for junk, but it's beyond going almost. And then the other 2, if you remember, we bought 2 at one time. They just kind of ran their time, okay? Starting to have a whole lot of problems with it. So, we will sell one of them and keep one as a backup. That's the game plan.
We gonna sell one of the two?
Yeah.
One of the two?
Yeah, we'll sell one of, no, we'll sell,
Or we gonna sell the old one?
we'll sell 2. We'll,
2 trucks and keep one?
That's right.
A total of 3 now.
That's right.
Sell 2 trucks.
Yeah. We're gonna keep 2 trucks. We're gonna keep the new one,
Brand new one?
and then another one, and then the other ones are gone. Okay? Yeah.
That's been, what, 13 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. And they've been some pretty good trucks, it's, I don't know if, David probably knows this, but with all these, emissions, it's just, they don't run the same way. And we've had, problems, they use a fluid called DEFT now. And it's on every piece of equipment that we've got now, and it's tough. And I think the glider kits is kind of, when Fitzgerald was doing the glider kits, I think they're away from, yeah.
Talking about Dale and diesel fuel and all that, I mean, I probably haven't got to it yet, but how we running on our money-wise since everything's went up?
Yeah, so, we went over that today. We budgeted really, really well. We guesstimated high. So across the board, we're only up over budget about 5%. So not bad at all, across the board.
From the year we just operated?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, what's 5% of what we budgeted? I don't know.
It was 200 and, Phyllis, you and I just talked about that.
5% is what, 40,000?
Actually, my notes here was 2% over budget. We budgeted 161,700. We came in actually with 163,649, and that's with the June numbers still not in yet. So at the end of the day, I'm going to guess we're probably 2.8, 2.9% over budget in fuel.
Buying fuel for now.
Well, of course, it varies, David. I'd have to go back and, of course, right now, the only people we've got is Rogers Petroleum. Nobody else bids on it anymore. Can you go pull the last invoice, Phyllis?
Don't worry about that.
Of course, we don't pay sales tax on it, so that helps us a little bit.
I just wondered how much it was compared to what we've been buying.
Yeah, about 330, I'm thinking.
About 330
Yeah,
gallon.
right. But I want to get the invoice, the latest one on that, so.
Ain't no telling what that's.
No, there's not. And so what we did was, across the board, I've took it up to about $185,000. So, I've increased it that much.
2,185 or
To one,
2,185?
yeah, I've took it up 180 to 185, that's right. So taking a look at, page 5, there's really nothing there. So for gas, 420. Diesel, ultra low sulfur diesel, 421. And then there is another one, ultra low sulfur diesel, at 516. I don't know why there's three prices there for diesel. Oh, I do. One's off-road and one's that you can put in your regular vehicle.
I figured all ours would be off-road cities.
No, no, we can't run them in it. No, we just can't. We've tried it. I mean, it just, like I said, with
Will
the,
run the truck or what?
it will not.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah. Do you have to use any DEFT in yours, David?
I don't know nothing that new.
Well, I'd recommend to stay with what you got.
Mine antiques. We bought fuel today in Kentucky, that runs $5.80 a gallon.
Yeah.
And we've been getting, I don't get that, I've been trying to buy it in all good down here. Last week, I think it's $5 a nickel, now it's $5.40. And using 650 a day, $3,500 a week in one drug.
Wow. Of course, you,
Comes hard.
yeah, you have to pass it on to the customer, I guess, don't you, David?
Well, we're getting a little bit, but I mean, that comes hard.
Sure it does. So, page 6, we don't have any home rehab grant going on. And the drug fund, the numbers are there. You can see the total revenues versus the expenditures. And I mean, I think just to talk about that just a little bit, I think everybody knows why I'm going to talk about it. But so what Joel and I have looked at, of course, the comptroller's report, and moving forward, we just have to make the corrections that the comptroller has advised us to do, which means the non-reoccurring expenses to be paid out of it, okay? But the drug fund, the way Joel and I seen it, does not have to pay the general fund back. Okay? That's not what the comptroller advised us to do. So moving forward, we just have to learn from our mistakes. Going on to page 8, that is an industrial development account that that if we had industry that perhaps needed a little help, we have some money there that came in from the state of Tennessee.
Can we use any of that money for the new retail businesses? Can you use any of that for like those new?
Industrial development only. Yep. I wish we could. I'm going to let Joel talk about page 9, if he's prepared to talk about page 9. General Debt Services.
Just talk about it from here.
Yeah, well, come on up, Joe.
So our debt is pretty well carved in stone. The only real number that the mayor has to play with is state sales tax on the debt service fund. So you can see that in 2021, the far left column is 430,500. It's projected to be 425,000 this year. Just being a little conservative there. He's elected to be just as conservative in the fifth column proposed for 2022-23. All of the expenses on the principal on notes, interest on bonds, interest on notes, that's according to what the requirements are for this next year. So those will not vary hardly at all. A little bit of interest, depending on what date it's paid. Will fluctuate just a little bit, but it should be within a very small window.
Thank you. Any questions for Joe?
You said her debt was carved in stone. What is her debt? How much do we owe?
I was afraid you were going to ask me that. I didn't put that.
That, I can tell you. I think this book is right here. It's in your audit books. I'm gonna give it to Phyllis, because she can get to it quicker than me, but I can read it off. We'll make it exactly what it is. Updated the schedule of payments and everything else.
Paving for this next budget year.
Yeah, so, Joe says we're probably gonna do an amendment. We're gonna do $1 million for the ARPA money. We have, the ARPA money is in there.
I saw that.
600 and some odd $1,000. And then we should get the other 6 in October. So what we're thinking is let the, I'm hesitant to do this, but we can sometime mid-September advertise for bid and then award the bid in October. Now, we should be getting our money in October, okay? Should be. You remember, was that the 1st of October or the?
You just said sometime in October.
I'm scared of big money. So, so there's a capital outlay note for $1 million 2013 in paving. The capital outlay note for $1.1 million for downtown Central Park. Capital outlay note in paving number 2, $500,000 in 2018. 2021 paving $1 million. And then we have drinking, state revolving drinking loans, 1.4, 5.5, 520,000, 450, and 1.8.
What's all them total?
That was their original amounts, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, I mean, you don't have to add all of that up. If that was our original, what's it take to get us out of debt today?
Well, the way these things are designed, I mean, if you wanted, so for instance, $8,820,000 is what it would take, okay? Now,
Except this one over here, general fund.
So, right, somewhere around $9 million would get us out of debt.
yeah, so
We have paid,
in the water, David, it's about $16 million. And a lot of that is you can, from Cumberland River,
so we owe $16 million
in
for water.
in water.
$16 million,
Yeah.
and then we owe $9 million on the other thing.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's about a total of $25 million.
That's right. And the way these are, of course, you do want to pay them off, make no mistake about that. but they're designed for, in the state revolving fund loan, they're low-interest loans that'd be 25, 30 million, yeah.
I always ask Joel every year how much we owe. And, you know, that's all. Seem like-
On page 10, due to the chemicals and the increase in chlorine and chemicals for a water treatment plant, there will be a 7% water rate increase across the board for all of our customers. A 7% water rate increase. This will not touch minimum bills. So if you, for like elderly, that can go up to 2,500 gallons that don't use a whole lot of money, they're not going to feel this. They're not going to feel this at all. But for a household of 4, 5, or 2, if you're in my house, we must like a lot of water. But anyway, it'll be a little increase, 7% across the board.
You say 8%?
7%. Yep. So also, let me read off as we, and this is also to cover some equipment. Of course, you know, the big monster in the room as you go down to the bottom of the page is the water plant. Is we've got to have about $400,000 budgeted in case something goes wrong down at the Cumberland River at Butler's Landing. So that's kind of the magic number that we have in the budget for that, because we hope for the best. But if our pumps fall down or quit, then emergency situations has to come in action. Of course, as everyone here knows, that in the event that that does happen, we do still have a secondary water supply at Carr Creek, City Lake. And then if we had to go back to the Roaring River, I guess we could too. We still exercise the pumps at Carr Creek. We don't exercise them anymore at Roaring River, but we could.
Hey, that extra pump at Butler's Landing, would that go on this year or next year?
It's not there yet.
Well, when?
Right, this year we hope.
Okay.
I mean, it's coming up soon. Also, in the water department, under expenditures, Jerry Dale, supervisor, has asked for a mini excavator, $62,567, and 12 valve inserts. That's when we have a large water leak. These valves, we can start valving them down and not lose as much water, and the cost of that is $22,000. That's in the water department, and those are the items that I did put in the budget. Again, down at the water plant, didn't really ask for a whole lot. I do want to tell you, though, that off of our water leak relief, we did collect $59,874 from water leak relief. And just a reminder, that is for the, it's the insurance that we took, that when folks had a water leak, they call water leak relief. And instead of us losing that money, we get that money back through an insurance program called water leak relief. So all the years, if you want to know how much money you was losing, is right at $60,000 a year. And of course, that could fluctuate. That could be.
So the $60,000 is what we've collected from the billing part, we're adding that in.
That's right.
But then on top of that, we've also saved money by not forgiving as much on
That's right. That's right.
Have there been very many complaints from the public, from people being charged this
Yeah.
nominal fee?
Right, so, the only, the one good thing, Bruce, about that is anybody that don't want to participate can check out. Yeah, they can check out, anytime, and I don't, how much is it on the bill? I don't even, is two, huh?
I was thinking it was like $252.
I mean, I pay mine, never even look at it, but so anybody that wants to opt out, they're automatic. Yeah, I understand. But you have to, right, so you have to be, so if you do opt out and you start getting these large bills, then you're going to get a little adjustment, but not much. Not much at all. Going on to page 11, looking at the wastewater plant. The wastewater plant has requested a stainless steel deflection plate for the wastewater plant, $57,000, and to remove the clarifier parts and replace with new, a total of about $74,700, and I'll put that in the budget. Natural gas, page 12. There is some fusion units that the gas superintendent needs to have, and some tap tea machines to help with the tap teas. The biggest is going to be an upgrade to Station 2. It's going to be $63,000 to upgrade, and basically what these upgrades means, as the temperatures start to plunge, it's kind of like our SCADA system in water. It automatically gets the correct pressure and pushes out the gas without us having to go turn it up and turn it down and things like that. But that's basically what it is. And you can see that and we had Alan here, and I don't know, maybe y'all can tell a little bit more from what Alan had to say, but I think he said he didn't have a crystal ball, right, Chris? So, predicting what the weather's going to be is extremely tough. So, but the budget is balanced. I'll be happy to ask any questions. I did not go line item for line item. I know y'all are adults and I don't have to read to you. And you've had an opportunity for the last couple of days to take a look at it now. Ask any questions that you may have.
I had one real quick.
All right.
Page 5. Yeah, gas total there. It's got 159. Is that supposed to be 185 like you said?
Say it again, Rex.
Total gas. You got 159 for proposed. You'd mentioned 185 to David.
Oh, page 12.
No, page 5.
Oh, okay.
Total revenue.
Okay.
Or total.
That's gasoline tax.
Oh, never mind.
That's gasoline tax.
My fault.
Okay.
Scratch that.
All right. It's been a long day, Rex. As I used to tell Bill Winningham, you've been peddling all day.
So we're gonna raise taxes, what, 5%?
5 cents.
5 cents, okay, we're gonna raise water rates 7%.
That's right.
And this is gonna pay the policemen their 84 hours,
That's right.
and gonna give a 3% raise across the board for them employees.
That's right. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Motion
approved.
made by Vice Mayor Ken Dotson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Speck. Any discussion?
Question,
Yes.
so we do not have to make a budget amendment for the drug fund and the general fund to goof up? That's what you said.
That's the way that Joel and I have looked at it, and
Going forward, we have to do the
that's looking at the comptroller's report and reading it. That's what we think we have understood, so.
No direct language as to reimburse a certain fund by a certain amount. It says that corrective efficiencies, and that's the process, is to keep the evidence room and such in order and set up the procedure. Yes,
All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? Roll call vote, Ms. Phyllis.
Yes.
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 Motion passed, so we will have budget amendments and the second reading. When did we set that date, Ms. Phyllis? June 30th at 5 o'clock will be the budget amendments and second readings on the budget. Joel, do you have anything?
Yeah.
All right.
I always tell you, at the end of each,
Come on up, Joel.
I would just like to remind everybody that at the bottom of each budget per fund, like on page 4, at the very bottom, you see fund balance. And I just always like to remind everybody that fund balance is the difference between what you own and what you owe, and that does not represent cash. It gives you an idea of what the cash situation might be, but don't look at that as being cash in the bank, because it's part of fixed assets, it's part of all of your different assets minus what you owe. This is an accounting term. I just want to remind you it's not cash. Yeah. There you go. There you go. That's all I've got.
All right. No other business. Need a motion to adjourn. Motion made by Alderman Clough, second. Second by Alderman Langford. All for the motion, let it know by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. We're adjourned.